Imagine being alone in the vast wilderness, ready for a quiet day of elk hunting, when suddenly you're met with UFOs and aliens named Michael and Auso 1. This isn't the setup for a sci-fi film, it's what Pat McGuire and Carl Higdon experienced in 1970s Wyoming. Both Pat and Carl were given messages and tasks that would alter the course of their lives. Pat was told to father 13 children and was warned of impending climate disasters. What does this mysterious directive mean? Stay tuned as we unravel one of the most perplexing extraterrestrial encounters ever reported. Bosler, Wyoming. Population, less than 10. Nestled in the expansive high plains of the state, this fading railroad village lies north of Laramie. In the 1970s, Pat McGuire managed a sprawling 5,000-acre ranch to the east. A native of Wheatland, McGuire embodied the quintessential Wyoming cowboy, born to wear Wranglers and a pearl snap shirt. He had a calm and solid proficiency with horses and, uncommonly for his type, abstained from alcohol. A hunting expedition with his in-laws altered McGuire's life profoundly. He was transformed forever. During an elk hunt in the Tetons in early October 1973, McGuire and his brother-in-law got disoriented. They later reported seeing an orange glow in the sky. They returned to their truck feeling unsettled and with no memory of several hours. Soon, extraterrestrial beings would contact him again, although initially McGuire dismissed the hunting incident as simply weird. Unusual reports of cattle mutilations began surfacing nationwide. On August 30th, 1976, McGuire encountered a bizarre scene, a dead calf devoid of its nose and ears. That evening, determined to identify the perpetrator, he and his cousin Mark Murphy camped out. They observed lights darting across the night sky and pursued them with rifles, yet they couldn't determine their destination or if they had touched down. The following day brought the discovery of another deceased cow, similarly unmarked by any tracks or signs of a struggle, with its organs and reproductive parts removed. McGuire contacted the Albany County Sheriff, who arrived to document the scene with photographs. On September 5th, the head count revealed yet another missing cow. On the evening of September 12th, the sky lit up with an orange hue. McGuire watched as 5 crafts hovered near the ground while 2 others landed. Silhouettes inside the crafts were visible, seeming to observe the ranchers. The crafts appeared again the subsequent night. McGuire captured the moment on Polaroid film. Frustratingly yet predictably, the photographs failed to develop. Pushed to his limit, McGuire brought in another observer, Jimmy Ashley, and a dog named Bear for security. One night, alerted by Bear's barking, the 3 witnessed another landing. Ashley approached the craft in a daze, touched it, and was instantly engulfed in flames without sustaining burns. Although Ashley survived unscathed, he was profoundly changed, McGuire's son David recounted. In 1976, McGuire reported these frequent extraterrestrial encounters at his ranch to the Aerial Phenomena Research Organization, APRO. If McGuire's tale wasn't already extraordinary, it veered into the realms of the surreal by late 1977. Frustrated by continual failures to locate water on his property, McGuire had exhausted all local drilling firms. Countless unsuccessful attempts and the consensus of numerous seasoned geologists had convinced everyone but McGuire that water was unattainable in the dry prairie basin where his ranch lay. Yet McGuire persuaded one last driller, Rick Henderson, to attempt one more well, assuring him of success within 10 days based on a prophetic vision. Whether it stemmed from a dream, a strong sense of déjà vu, a phenomenon McGuire frequently experienced vividly, or a genuine memory from his eerie hunting incident, McGuire felt compelled about a specific spot for drilling. He placed 3 stones to mark it and Henderson commenced work. They reached 275 feet, surpassing previous depths on his ranch, yet found no water. Henderson wanted to give up, but McGuire persisted. At 350 feet, completely worn out, they stopped for the night. As they slept in a nearby trailer, they were startled by 3 loud knocks. Terrified, they then witnessed water erupting from the well. McGuire had discovered a robust aquifer, delivering 5,000 gallons of water per hour to a region reputedly barren. Previously the subject of local derision, McGuire now captured the attention of neighbors and the broader media alike. His claim of frequent UFO landings on his ranch, reported on ABC's Eyewitness News on March 5, 1980, where he mentioned encounters maybe 25 or 30 times, ignited widespread fascination. The story was irresistible to the press. The Wyoming rancher who regularly interacted with aliens became a sensation. The U.S. National Enquirer published an article titled, "Farmer, Aliens Use My Ranch as Their Landing Place" on March 24, 1981, and the Casper Star-Tribune wrote multiple pieces on him as well. Yet, despite his newfound fame, mockery at home continued relentlessly. A recent Huffington Post article by David Rydell recounted the deep alienation his father suffered, even from his own family. During this period, University of Wyoming psychologist and UFO expert Leo Sprinkle learned of McGuire's tale. Sprinkle guided the rancher through multiple hypnotherapy sessions, enabling McGuire to remember more details about his alien encounters. McGuire referred to the extraterrestrials as star people. Their appearance was human-like, standing around 6 feet tall and weighing about 200 pounds, with large eyes, thin lips, no hair, and a flattened nose bridge. Their attire was black, set off by a silver belt buckle featuring a star similar to the Star of David. The Star People foretold a looming climate catastrophe and directed McGuire on where to locate water. They pledged to redirect an underground Canadian river to his ranch, conditioned on him displaying the Israeli flag there. The extensive hypnosis sessions with Sprinkle seemed to take a toll, exacerbating McGuire's paranoia. Friends noted the once cheerful cowboy changed permanently post-sessions. McGuire often spoke of a star person named Michael, who urged him to father 13 children, one representing each tribe of Israel. When his wife Wanda hesitated at the 9th child, McGuire divorced her and married a woman named Lynn. Additionally, McGuire asserted that he was transported into Ariel Sharon's body during the Six-Day War, and believed the government had implanted devices in his brain. His bizarre claims continued until Michael the Alien supposedly prompted McGuire to run for governor in 1982. At his initial campaign rally in a local mall, McGuire declared, "A vote for me is a vote for extraterrestrials." Yet he was decisively defeated by three-term incumbent Ed Hirschler in the Democratic primary. Losing touch with reality, McGuire spiraled into financial despair. His ranch was foreclosed and eventually acquired by the University of Wyoming, including the well. Forsaken by friends and family, McGuire passed away in poverty on May 14, 2009, at 67 years old. Nearly 1 year to the day after McGuire reported being taken aboard an extraterrestrial craft while hunting in Wyoming, another local resident claimed a similar extraordinary experience. On October 25, 1974, Everett Carl Higdon Jr., an oil rig foreman from Rawlins known as the Wyoming Coyote, due to his relentless work ethic, took a day off to hunt elk in Medicine Bow National Forest. Higdon, a 41-year-old married father of 4 and a Korean War Air Force veteran, was highly respected among his crew for his perseverance. That significant day, he drove the company truck 40 miles south to McCarty Canyon. As the terrain became challenging, he parked and proceeded on foot. Around 4 p.m., after cresting a ridge and sighting 5 elk, Higdon aimed his new Magnum rifle at the largest one. Suddenly, it was 11:30 p.m., and Higdon found himself being roused by friends from a dazed state inside his truck with no memory of what had occurred.
Wake up, sleepyhead.
At Carbon County Memorial Hospital later that night, nurse Ella Peterson repeatedly inquired about his name, which he couldn't recall, nor could he immediately recognize his wife, Marjorie. His eyes were red, watery, and painful. His balance was compromised, and he exhibited extreme light sensitivity. As his memory gradually returned, Higdon remembered firing his rifle but felt no recoil and heard no sound. The bullet seemed to move in slow motion before dropping to the ground a mere 50 feet ahead. Marjorie thought the situation was bizarre. While sorting laundry, she discovered the bullet in his jacket pocket. It was inside out and flattened, yet whole, as though it had collided with a very solid object. Ballistic specialists were at a loss to explain what could have caused such a deformation to the bullet. Once more, Sprinkle intervened. Through multiple hypnosis sessions, the oil rig worker Higdon consistently recounted a story that remained unchanged over 50 years. Higdon described being floored by an unknown force. Above him stood a humanoid entity, approximately 6 feet tall and weighing 180 pounds. The entity appeared male, with yellow skin and a thin, lipless mouth that was merely a slit revealing 3 large, blocky teeth. From its forehead sprouted 2 short antennae, and its head hair, straw-like, stood erect. It donned a snug black jumpsuit akin to a diver's outfit, equipped with dual seat belts and a metal belt adorned with a yellow star at the waist. Where a right hand should be, there was a prosthetic resembling a power drill. "How are you?" the alien articulated in English. "Pretty good," replied Higdon, striving to remain composed. The alien introduced itself as Auso-1. "Your sun burns us," declared Auso-1, presenting Higdon with 4 nourishment pills in a small packet. Driven by impulse, Higdon ingested one, though he typically shunned even aspirin. When Auso-1 proposed a voyage in his cube-shaped craft, Higdon agreed. The vessel was devoid of windows and doors and appeared too compact for Higdon. Yet he was mysteriously transported inside with Auso-1, 2 additional extraterrestrial beings, and the 5 elk previously outside. Higdon claimed the journey to Auso-1's planet lasted under a minute, despite it being 163,000 light-years away. They landed on a dark world beside a tower, reminiscent of Seattle's Space Needle, topped with a glaring light and emitting a buzzing noise. Near the tower, Higdon observed 5 human-like figures, a middle-aged man, a young girl, 2 teenage girls, and a teenage boy. Auso floated with Higdon from the spacecraft into the tower and ascended in an elevator. In a room, Higdon stood on a platform as a device emerged from the wall, scanned him, and then withdrew. He was informed he wasn't what they were seeking and would be returned to Earth. During the visit, Auso mentioned his species' expeditions to Earth to source breeding animals for food. He also spoke of an alternate sun and seas on their planet, insufficient for sustaining life. Post-examination, Auso and Higdon re-entered the cubicle and returned to Earth. Auso directed his drill hand at Higdon's pocket, retrieving the remaining pills, and handed back Higdon's rifle. Higdon found his way back to his truck, where he was discovered by rescuers just before midnight. Notably, the truck was positioned about 3 miles away in a much rougher terrain, an area that his 2-wheel drive truck would have struggled to reach. Moreover, there were no tire tracks evident leading to the truck's new location. At the hospital, doctors noted that Higdon's tuberculosis scars had disappeared from X-rays, and he no longer had kidney stones, though he was otherwise in good health at 41. His story made the front pages of the San Antonio Star and other newspapers as sensational tabloid news in early 1975. Life has changed since that encounter, Higdon told the press. He experienced no further encounters. For a long time, his account was brushed off as a fabrication by someone craving attention. However, Higdon later passed lie detector tests and did not pursue any financial benefits from his tale. In my own personal opinion, from the cases I've examined, there's no sign of a hoax or a psychotic reaction that could make someone mistakenly believe they were abducted, Sprinkle said in a 1978 interview with In Search Of. I'm left with a mysterious and sometimes uneasy feeling that these events occur exactly as reported, he added. That is, individuals are indeed abducted, examined, and released by intelligent entities. Carl's wife, Marjorie, authored a book titled Alien Abduction of the Wyoming Hunter, published in 2017 and available on Amazon. Carl Higdon dealt with the trauma and eventually went back to working in the oil fields. He retired in 1997 and moved back to his native Texas. Higdon passed away on pneumonia. It doesn't matter to me whether people believe it or not. I know what I experienced, Carl Higdon remarked. People can take it at face value or not. Either way, it doesn't affect me. I just want others to be prepared in case they undergo something similar. Thanks for tuning in to explore the mysterious case of Carl Higdon and his otherworldly encounter in Medicine Bow. If you found this story as intriguing as we did, don't forget to hit that like button to show your support. Share this video with friends who love the unexplained and leave us a comment with your thoughts on the Higdon incident. Are you a believer or a skeptic? We'd love to hear from you. Subscribe to our channel for more videos on the paranormal and unexplained mysteries from around the universe. And if you really want to help us keep bringing you this kind of content, consider supporting us on Patreon. Your support helps us dive deeper into the unknown, and every little bit makes a big difference. Check out the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, keep your eyes on the skies. You never know what you might see.